question to you on that kind of vein. And you can have as much bias you want to in this situation. Well, actually, let's get into that in a second as we get into game here. Game number 1 with FNATIC versus Zero Tenacity here in match 2 of the day.
And who will win the portal? And it will be FNATIC here with the golden finale. That portal, whoever wins that portal wins the game. It's secretly written in the rules for sure. And so, Wasian and FNATIC now get their portal of choice. Golden finale, not really much to write home about. Just plays a normal game, and then all of a sudden at the end, you just know it's going to be a gold augment.
Yeah, I think actually that lines up to what FNATIC wants. I think specifically Dish Soap is a player who's outspoken about, I want actually very low variance. I will just play better TFT if I have not crazy stuff going on around me, and I can just win that way with just playing better than my opponents. And he's proven that then, time and time again here. But actually, back to the question I was going to pose to you just moments ago, CLE, and you can be as biased as you want to here, but between all of the Americas teams and all of the EMEA teams, if you were to take, their average level, what do you think is favorited amongst the whole, competition there between EMEA and Americas?
Man, this is a loaded statement because FNATIC is very, very, very good. But there is an EMEA team that is absolutely terrifying to me. And that is Carmine Corp with the KC brothers, Cambiz and Double 61 brothers, cousins. And some of the best German players, Dark Hydra and Wet Jungler, who we'll see later on in this tournament. They are so good. So if I had to pick a team that I look at and like, this is the favorite to win this whole thing, I probably have to pick them.
Oh, wow. Okay. EMEA number 1, Celia spoken, can't take it back. Ship it, post it to socials.
No,
ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
Oh, no.
You're cooked. No, there's a lot of respect on these EMEA teams, right? Of course, they have some very, very strong players. We'll be seeing some of them a bit later. For now, of course, honing in on the FNATIC versus Zero Tenacity.
Wait,
Zero Tenacity.
You're not going to escape this. Who do you think is going to win out of all of these teams?
I thought we would... Dang, I thought we would get past that. Okay, what if I were to tell you, in theory, my answer might actually be the exact same as yours?
Look at him.
Carmine Corp.
He's trying to escape.
I know, I didn't dodge the bullet. Just look at Double 61, right? Nearly won last championship, just so barely made it. Double 61 is probably one of the most storied, if not the most storied player in all of TFT history. Dominance from all the way from Galaxies, right? A really good performance at Vegas Open as well. He just has the results to back it up here. So yeah, pretty good. Similarly can be said about these EMEA players in this lobby as well, of course, with Lelouch having a lot of good success. Alan ZQ similarly as well. Players have been in the scene for a very, very long time, all around here in this competition.
And I think something to note just about some of these EMEA teams, as we're looking at Zero Tenacity a little bit too, is they have more of these 4v4 tournaments in EMEA. They have their Super Bowl, they have some of these local 4v4s as well, and so many of these players have experience in this format, which to me, in a completely talent equal thing, gives them the little edge in every matchup, just having experience in that.
Yeah, I actually 100% agree with you, and that's I think nice to highlight, and partially why I do think one of these EMEA teams might be the one at the end of the day to win the event. They do have those Super Brawls, they have experience in this format way more than any other region, and I think that does, I agree with you, it does go a very, very long way. Got Alan ZQ here with just the Keepers one in the early game. Wanted to get some value out of that, so second rowing the Syndra, putting a bow on her. We see Alan being the winner of the early Syndra lottery.
Oh yeah, the early Syndra, we start getting those stacks. We know that at 15 stacks, this unit starts to actually become something that has some power. Then at 30, this unit starts to take off after 30 casts, and then every 30 casts subsequently, this unit gets even more and more powerful into the late game. That is why this unit has taken over the meta, and we will probably see it continue to take over the meta here at EWC.
Yeah, definitely losing out that round, unfortunately, because there was some other very, very strong boards in this lobby. Even a level 5 very, very early on from Zusso here as well, with a Morello's slammed on an early Jax. We get 3 Eldritch online, right? Another Syndra, of course. a tier for a Syndra item in just a little bit. Now the question is, you know, what unit do we want to put in? It's probably just going to be this Neela. It is going to give a little bit more of that power to the Eldritch. Okay, it's the Ash as well, right? More back end of value. But the important thing here is CLE. There's already potential 5 Eldritch as soon as we get a slot online for it.
Yeah, not able to justify taking out this Jax just yet. But as soon as they do, able to get that really powerful Eldritch unit that just comes in and is an extra tank and really provides a lot of value to the team. CC, as we see come through there as well, as the Golem on the other side completely whiffs their CC. And so it will be a pretty good start here. Being level 5 already increases the odds of getting more Syndras. And we know from playing our ladder games that Syndra 2 is about all you need.
100%. And I actually do wonder what the, you know, power level is and playing that Jax Morellos over, you know, playing the Neela, right? Playing that 5 Eldritch. I want to say maybe it's hindsight speaking from my perspective, but maybe 5 Eldritch would have been enough to win that round.
It may have been. That unit is quite powerful. The HP bar is a lot bigger, and the ability has more CC. And so something that could have been more powerful, but the 2-star unit's really hard to give up, especially early in this game.
Definitely. Well, can't look into what could have been. You gotta look towards what can be. And all these players looking forward to that match victory here amongst these potentially 3 games. Take a look at Dish Soap here. Very early Honeymancer start with the Kog'Maw and the Vigar. Perhaps not fully committed to that line. It's still fairly flexible, utilizing that early Thieves Gloves from the Band of Thieves here, just on a Warwick 1, but still Dish Soap is making a lot of money, and the Lost Streak here is online as well.
And it looks like he may be trying to go full Lost Streak here and full Econ, being one of the only players above 20 gold here, wanting to be able to, wasn't slamming items quite yet on this Kog'Maw, didn't want to win too much, but now facing Kiyun, who has a stronger board with some of these multi-strikers on the other side, with specifically the Kassadin 2. Now able to kill a few units, so good loss for Dish Soap here, good team play, knowing that Kiyun was stronger than him, so able to slam these items.
Yeah, definitely. Same items, and Kiyun actually had a Bloodthirster on the bench, so making himself weaker in that matchup, not dealing as much damage, is definitely a thing that we want to continue to highlight when that does happen throughout the event, because that is peak team play in Teamfight Tactics. Really, really good stuff there. As we take a look at Lucia's board, going to be rocking with early Portal with that Kassadin, you know, Galio and Jace. Going to be using that gold remover as well, so you can remove as many items as you want, as many times as you want. Going to be looking to make up to 20 gold here, but not really wanting to justify selling many of those units on the bench there. And if we don't have 20 gold here, like, you're just extremely poor, right? Like, you don't want to be in that spot in terms of econ.
Yeah. You look at people like Weijin, who is on this win streak as well with 38 gold, Dish Soap with 30 gold on that loss streak. The amount of income coming in for both of those guys is immense. But you know what we don't see on some of these America's FNATIC representative board is Syndras. We see a couple of them being picked up, 4-0 Tenacity. I'm curious if they will even contest each other on that line.
Yeah, very true, right? How many Syndras can we see in a lobby? Can we see, you know, half the lobby? Like, answer is yes, by the way. Spoiler alert. We can't see half the lobby running Syndra, but how much more, I think, is going to be the big question. Zero Tenacity's Travis here with an early, we know Portal Stot has that item slammed, that Nasher slammed onto the Kassadin.
Yeah, so Travis looking like he wants to play Syndra also with that Nasher slammed in some of these units that he has on his board. So this is looking like they're contesting one another, while the FNATIC team has 3 streaks going. Win streak for Weijin and Malala and a loss streak for Dish Soap. So they are quite rich in having a pretty good early game plan.
Yeah, I actually think that makes a lot of sense. If multiple players in your team has the spot for early Syndra, you might as well just all go it. Like, that's fine. Even if you hit, you know, Syndra 2 a little bit later than you would perhaps like, that's still perfectly fine. There was a spat drop there on that board, so maybe we see some vertical portal or something, but have to take a look a bit later. But yeah, a lot of players can still be running the Syndra early, and you can roll down on 3-2 pretty heavily to find upgrades and stabilize your mid game.
Yeah, and this is an interesting spot from Dishsoap here. Obviously playing towards this Kog'Maw, has 2 of the 3 best items on this unit. But also, Weijin was looking towards that way as well. And so is already level 6. I imagine he will continue to push levels and push tempo for the lobby. But need to get off that line as well in order to not contest one another for the FNATIC team.
100%. I think at 3-2, we're going to see a lot of indicative direction, especially when it comes to the members of Zero Tenacity. It looks like most of the members of FNATIC already kind of have their early game and mid-game game plans kind of online. Dishsoap, you know, kind of turning this one around versus Travis. Now, very, very strong.
Yeah, Dishsoap wanting to change his fortune here. And we will be seeing another silver augment come through. The golden remover is an excellent one for flex gameplay. And for Suso here will be the choice. Now going with more Eldritch units. And Nyla too, if he would choose to get it. Yeah, we'll be making that unit to try and stabilize this board.
Seems worth it, right? You get the star up on the Eldritch unit when it comes out. But rolling until Syndra 2 and frontal upgrade, I think, is a big thing. But how much more is Suso willing to roll? I think it's going to be a bit more. Really want to find one of either, frontline or Syndra upgrade.
And yes, look at the right side of our screen, we see that Alan, Dishsoap, and Kiyun all rolled down to 10 gold or below. And so they have rolled all the way to see if they can stabilize. Kiyun, though, does hit Kassadin 3 here on 3-2, which is quite early. Has 5 multi-striker in here as well, finding that Callista.
Wait, this is an insane spot from Q. Not only is it the Kassadin 3, but it's level 7, right? On 3-2, and I guess you had the level to get the extra Kassadin, right, from that augment, to get that online. But 2 items already slammed. This is such a strong spot. Kyun, I don't imagine, would lose any rounds here in stage 3.
And Alan is holding all of the Zero Tenacity members are holding these Kog'Maws as well from Dishsoap. So I'm curious to see if he was able to hit what he was looking for. We see 1 on the bench here. We saw 4 on the bench of Alan, who is now on a 4-loss streak here. But Kiyun stabilized super well here in this mid game with that Kassadin 3.
Yeah, Lelouch here having a pair of Callistas, perhaps going with that kind of 4-cost flex style of play. We saw it a bit early in the last match. It do all right. Maybe some early Callistas, however, will make it appear a bit stronger. We do have 3 multi, 3 portal, and some decent frontline with a Jace 2 and an Elise 2 as well, with 2.5 items. She is still fairly tanky.
Yeah, I mean, this Callista with a Rage Blade is quite powerful. Malala on the other side with this AP tree that he's going for, still carrying a Zoe 2, which is quite good in the early game. Is probably why he was able to streak a lot of that stage, and will now take another win, breaking that loss streak that he was on.
Yeah, a big question, I think, to me, noticing how many players of Zero Tenacity are holding these Kog'Maws. Does Dishsoap just pivot, right? Is he like, okay, you're all griefing me, I'm just gonna stop playing this line? And I think that might be the case because the Thieves Club is on the Nunu, right? If the Thieves Club was on literally any other unit, I'd be like, okay, you're maybe going to be considering the style of play because you're going to have your Nunu with these 3 big tank items going to late game. But with TG, there's too much variance there, right? And, Dishsoap hates variance in that way. So I think he's actually just going to be using this as a pivot point here. We'll see here soon because he is only at 10 gold. So it's kind of hard to pivot from that point, especially when it comes to, this fast 8 style of play.
And I do want to take a look at our leaderboard. We do have our top 4 and our bottom 4 being from each team here. And so it is FNATIC on top here early in the game on stage 3. Dishsoap is putting a little bit of a streak together, but is incredibly far from all of these major upgrades, all of the 3 stars possible. So it's going to be quite interesting to see which of these teams can pull it together. But that Witchcraft Spat for Travis is very powerful.
Yeah, extremely. Finding a Karma on level 7, right? Still being on about 30 gold. Really big. For Travis, has 1 tier and 1 rod. We could go either Morello's, could go blue buff, right? Blue buff generally would be the choice there, but it'd still be fine with the Morello's. Get a little bit of attack speed, a lot of cast here. That Witchcraft debuff that Karma spreads so well.
Yeah. And it looks like Zuso will be the one going with this Syndra line here for Zero Tenacity. And so that will be very important for the team to find their identity. And it will still be FNATIC on top, though. 6-win streak now for Kiyun and Dissoap on that 4-win streak. Very important matchups for both of those players heading into Stage 4. Will they be able to keep their streak for this neutral round?
Yeah, Kiyun streak, right? That cast in 3. We kind of expected Dish Soap snap that 5 loss into potentially a 5 win here. These are going to be big rounds, as you're saying, because losing out on that econ, especially as both of those players are just about 30 gold, right? It makes a big difference when getting back up to that 50.
And this will be a very important matchup here. Will Dish Soap be able to beat Lelouch and his early Callista? Rage Blade stacking up, but not a ton of multi-striker procs here early. The 3-item Jace, though, will be falling down here shortly, and so will this Kog'Maw be able to delete the backline? It will, so yes. Dish Soap in an excellent spot here. 5 loss into 5 win. Excellent econ here, able to recoup a lot of what he spent in order to streak.
100%. Kiyun doing just the same. Really strong start for FNATIC in this game, so a lot of pressure on Zero Tenacity. You know, is all of their, griefing the Kog'Maw is going to be worth it? Looks like Travis already sold out of theirs. They recognize that, oh, okay, Dish Soap's not going for Cog anymore, so we don't need to be, griefing on econ. And wow, a couple of Namis. This is actually really good when it comes into that 3 mage style of Karma board. Travis maybe going to be considering picking those up here soon.
Yeah, he already has, man, it would be an interesting spot here to pivot all the way back towards this mage spot, but both of those Namis are very interesting while already playing Eldritch also, so would slot in quite nicely here for Travis.
Yeah. 100%. Perhaps it will depend on what items he gets here. There is a sword, so we could go into a Shojin for the Karma. That's not quite as good as blue buff, but definitely a solid item. Do have 2 Reforgers though, and wow, a big upgrade here for the front line with that Mordekaiser too. Really strong, and we do have that Cinderace on that in that dummy in 3rd row, so it's gonna be providing a lot of value here, and maybe a reason why there's no Morellos going to be considered.
Oh wow, are we playing? Yeah, we're playing Vertical Portal here for Wasian. This is going to be a very interesting board here with this Rise 2, with this Nora here early. 6 Portal on board here, 3 Vanguard. I mean, obviously you want 4 Vanguard with that Tom Kench in shop, but not quite able to get it here. This board could be quite powerful.
Ooh, okay. Wasian slamming every single item, right? And there's actually a lot of power out of Guard Breaker on Rise specifically, because he hits so many units that it's very likely to get a Guard Breaker proc on a shield. I actually really like that slam. 6 Portal is so good at this stage of the game. Hitting Rise 2, Wasian is in a very good spot here. Even hitting an early Nora for that extra Portal there. 8 Portal might not be, game winning potential. 10 Portal kind of is, but still very solid in terms of just playing high tempo.
And as promised from the Portal, this will be the golden finale here in this game. Combat Caster chosen for Alan ZQ, who has no mana items on this Syndra, but instead is double Rage Blade, which, gathers mana from auto attacks. But holding 6 Kog'Maws is crazy.
Yeah, this is the most insane target griefing. Dish Soap is still level 6, of course, so perhaps has decided, like, you know what? No, actually, Kog'Maw is going to be the spot that I want to go. Maybe get a remover a bit later and take that Thieves' Gloves off of the Nunu. But Dish Soap's still streaking, for a while here. Still on that 6 streak, saying, you know what, it's good enough. Even if I fall kind of off a cliff and power level a bit later on, it's going to be enough, right? I'm already taking a lot of value in this game from forcing my opponents to deny so much from me.
Oh, Lelouch not able to get all of the value from this item Anvil glove. Yeah, the artifact glove, sorry. And so not able to quite position the way they want to. But trying to figure out this board, not a ton of upgrades yet for Lelouch, and still it will be a couple of losses coming through here. Oh, just kidding. That Callista absolutely popped off there and was able to take the round win.
I actually thought it was going to be a Hull Crusher diff there, but no, yeah, thankfully not. Don't gotta, punch yourself about that one, because it's chill. But with Pandora's Bench, right, it's going to be rolling a bunch of 4 costs here, trying to find a Callista, Fiora, Nasus, but no hits there at all.
Man. Yeah, this is not looking ideal for Lelouch here. Needing to stabilize here at 45 HP. a little bit of direction happening with some of these items, but not having any upgrades makes it very difficult to use them well.
Yeah, 100%. Still even just that like 1.5 items on the Callista open bow. There's really good items on the Nasus, right? And the blacksmith gloves on the Rakan is solid. Maybe not like the best case situation, but it's like a Sunfire on the Fiora. That's not going to be very good. Lelouch is trying to just scrape anything together at this point. And so each round that goes by where these Pandora's bench doesn't roll into upgrades, it's just that much more devastating.
Yeah, the good news is they do have that golden item remover, so they can move things around as needed, including this TG that just will have lots of units that can be more useful with those items each round. So they will continue to win here, which is a little bit surprising without these upgrades. But still, no one able to touch Dish Soap. Oh, just kidding. He lost that last round, but is at 50 gold once again and hoping to roll it down and maybe hit.
Yeah. Still going to be rocking with that Kog'Maw style. We take a look at all the boards here. Malala rolling with a Nami as the primary carry, looks like there, but also Diana on the board. There is a little bit of shakeups in those standings, right? FNATIC had all 4 at the top of the standings. Zero Tenacity had them all on the bottom, but now Malala is currently in 6th place, has taken a loss here, while players like, you know, Alan Lelouch are finding a couple of wins, few wins back to back to back. And yeah, the lack of Kog'Maws from Dish Soap, I guess that's expected with seeing how many are being denied.
Man, this is a really difficult game to play now. We saw Alan ZQ with 6 of those Kog'Maws, holding them from Dish Soap. Dish Soap giving the favor back, holding Syndra's Karma and a Fiora on bench as well. But what is he going to do now? Is he going to start to level? Is he going to start... You know, this board gets a little bit stronger on level 7 once you're able to get that Jinx in. So what is the game plan here? I'm interested to see what the perfect player will do.
The perfect player, Dish Soap, whatever he does, right? Surely it's not going to be a wrong decision. The perfect player can't make a wrong decision. Absolutely never. Now, facing Malala here in this matchup, the Nami wave coming through, disrupting that backline. Not even going to be able to be taken out there. As 4-unit loss, you know, Dish Soap now 2 losses in a row now.
Yep.
Kyun actually did find a round win, though. Wow.
Man, this board also needs to stabilize, and I think that Camille 2 will be a huge part of that. 17 plays at HP for Zuso here, selling a lot of this board and going with a full transition here into this Preserver line, now adding in Chrono as well. Man, this board has a chance to be pretty good, but is a little confusing with its makeup.
Yeah, definitely confusing. A big thing here is there's no real secondary carry, and at this point in the game, with Syndra getting you through the early game, you really need a secondary carry. Camille could be that if she actually had items, but she doesn't. The bow doesn't even go on her for the Titans, which I kind of agree with. The bow instead goes onto the Zillion. It is just going to be, of course, that golden remover, so we can swap that around. But yeah, Zuso, not this round, I don't think will fall, but perhaps after the Raptors is going to be very, very likely to fall unless some big board improvements are made.
Yeah, and the problem is for Zero Tenacity here is that they have 3 players that are not looking too good here. Travis not having that Fiora 2 or good items on that Fiora 2 makes that board a lot more challenging. Lelouch finally hitting a Callista 2 and has 2 more on bench, so we need to be on watch for a 3-star Callista here as well. But really needs to upgrade that front line. No 2-star Nasus, no 2-star Fiora, no 2-star Rakan, so a lot of these units are not upgraded either.
Yeah, definitely that win condition being the Callista 3 would be massive, but even just the stabilization of finding a Nasus 2, Fiora 2, right? Really need all those upgrades to come through. Definitely gonna be more rolls here. Okay, Nasus.
There we go.
Big hit off of the Pandora's bench. Morgana being found. Can that slot in? No.
Looks like they want to re-roll it for what is most likely a Camille here, hoping that they can get in this board to get multi-striker on and keep Chrono. Now moving some of these items over to this Rakan and swapping things around. The Zero Tenacity team really likes this golden remover.
Golden River is, really, really solid. Oh, Zuso is going to be swapping over the items into a Karma, but Karma nearly got one shot by that portal.
Man, this board from Wasian looks very, very good, and something that I'm hoping to try later with this Rise carry on this portal board, especially if you can get that +1. Oh man, this Karma went down. The secondary carry Zillion here on this board can't do enough. So Wasian now able to be on this 4 streak, looking good towards the end of this game, and Suso will drop out.
Yeah, Suso's not being able to translate that Syndra to anything else. See Malala even here with the Syndra 2 on bench, just making sure there's even less in the pool for the other players. But very interesting board here, playing around just Nami being a solo carry, and like I said with Zuso's downfall, not having a secondary carry is exactly the kind of trap that Malala is falling into here as well. There's really, some solid front line, not the best as there's still a lot of 1-stars there, but Nami cannot be a solo carry.
No, definitely not. That's why you see her played alongside a lot of these other units that have that single target damage, where Nami is super useful, having a lot of CC and doing a lot of AoE damage, applying Morello super well, not able to quite get the damage through to each unit that is needed. We see Dish Soap here with lots of copies of lots of units, but very few 3-stars that are needed. Did hit the Nunu, did hit the Tristana, but the most important one is not upgraded with that Kog'Maw.
Yeah, it needs 2 more Kog'Maw still, and has a little bit of life to play with until we get that. Very close round, actually. I thought Dish Soap would lose by a lot more than that, but I think we've solved the answer of what the perfect player will do, and that is going to be level to 7 and then roll for the rest of the upgrades. It is just big enough of a difference to get that Jinx in there and online. But still, right, there's not too much more HP that Dish Soap can lose. Maybe 2 more losses until he is out of here.
What I've learned is that the perfect player never pivots. He sticks to his guns and he rolls it down no matter what is happening, knowing that Alan has spent a lot of his gold to hold the units that he needs. Now seeing Malala here at 6 HP, looking towards death here if he can't beat Alan's board on the other side. The Tom Kent CC is huge, with the Nami wave coming through. Will do lots of damage here and apply a wound and a burn to the other side. But some of these units just are not falling. Needs to rely on some of this portal damage and Nami to continue to stay alive here. But the Diana into the back line does a lot of damage. The Ionic Spark able to do quite a bit here, but not quite enough to finish off the Syndra, which could be disastrous here for this board. The wave does come through, but Malala will fall out in 7th place.
Yeah, unfortunate. And if there was another damage dealer, would have been enough. But no, just with the Nami, not quite. So FNATIC goes out in 7th place here, with previous world champion winner Malala, but now Lelouch and Dish Soap next on the chopping block here, 6 and 12 HP respectively there for them.
And for all those watching, this does mean that FNATIC currently has the advantage on the leaderboard. It's 1 point up on Zero Tenacity for this game. And so, Malala doing his job here, getting the amount of placelets that he can out of that board, and now just praying that the rest of his team can pull out some of these wins here. But we have a problem. Dish Soap, Kyun, and Wasian all have lost recently, or no one is streaking besides Travis and his board.
Yeah, true. Dish Soap sold out of all the rumbles and tried to all in for that Kog'Maw, and I think needed to do that right now, so it's the correct decision, but just didn't hit. Maybe some last second side swaps, but no, remains on the right hand side here, going up against Lelouch, so someone will fall here.
Oh no, Lelouch has hit a lot of his upgrades. Rakan 2 has come through as well, and so this will be quite a strong board. The Eternal Winter will slow the attack speed of this board dramatically, which will be a huge problem. The Tristana Frozen, oh man, will be disastrous for Dish Soap, and I think this is a big enough loss to even knock him out. Oh, just kidding. A few more units killed. It's going to be really close.
No, not quite enough. -1 HP there for Dish Soap. Man, just one more unit. Now FNATIC looking not too hot right now after Dish Soap took the 6th.
Yeah, Dish Soap taking that 6th. Wasian losing it once again with that portal board. Travis on that win streak. It's looking pretty doomed here unless they can turn it around and hit something big.
Alan With the Karma now on the board, the 4 Vanguard style, and with the Keepers, right, still positioning the front line to get maximum value. I love seeing that, but not sacrificing any of these back lines to buff them up even more is going to be Kiyun's Ghost, it looks like here, of course, with that Cassidon 3.
Yeah, this board from Kiyun still looks pretty good here if you're able to get a Camille 2 or something like that. Switching over now to Lelouch versus Travis. Travis on that win streak may be knocking his teammate out here with that Witchcraft board, and that will be the case. Lelouch dives up one of the newest cutscenes in the game. This Misfortune Chibi is awesome visuals.
The only thing, Lelouch like looked over to the side of his teammate like, hey, what the heck, man? Like, why are you taking me out, bro? Yeah.
Oh, man.
Our top 4 already in this lobby.
Completely even in the standings now we have here, so it's just gonna matter who can place higher in this matchup.
Yeah, let's see. What actually how does it end up if the scores end up as they are in HP right now? Who wins in that situation?
I don't know.
You know,
because
I don't know.
Generally in 4v4 tournament, that would be a format that'd be a tie.
Maybe winner gets some advantage.
I don't know that.
We'll get some confirmation about that soon, hopefully, because that is a case that very well might happen here with you know, Kiyun, I guess, is not like super strong. I don't think that's a board that's necessarily lobby winning. Weijin, unfortunately, isn't really finding that many big upgrades either, but does find the Nora too. Gonna find another item for her, or perhaps frontline, but no, it's really just the even shroud, which you don't really get value off of at this point. So yes, just the Nashers for the Nora. Getting more cast for her is gonna be strong.
8 Portal is very, very good here, so I'm curious to see if Weijin's board will be able to put up a good fight versus this win streaking board from Travis, the Witchcraft Ghost, with 2 emblems on the other side. Maybe it's not the Ghost. This is the real fight happening here. The Nasus will ascend, but all of these suspicious trench coats will be a problem for a lot of this team to get through. The Rise is ramping up. The Nora doing as much damage as possible, but this front line will not fall.
No, the front line is just too powerful. The Witchcraft Nasus, there's so much there.
Oh, Alan also out though.
Eliminated. Yeah, who's gonna be out with more HP to spare? Weijin didn't have that much, so yes, it's gonna be Weijin out in 4th, Alan in 3rd. Now it's just 1v1 between Kiyun and Travis, but Travis on a 7 win streak.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. I'm sure that Kiyun has faced Travis here in this game, and so who will be able to pull out this victory? Travis does have one of those good charms, getting those 2 unstable treasure chests. Kiyun rolling for a really good charm, not able to quite find what he's looking for.
Yeah, no, was trying to roll for maybe a good Zerath charm, but not hitting that. Not wanting to sell out of the Camille as well, because Camille 2 would be a big upgrade because she has 3 items.
Yeah, so Kiyun just holding on here. 38 HP is a few lives to be able to play with. We will probably see the carousel coming up here, but that Cassidon is falling very quickly to all of this Witchcraft emblems and all of the power that comes through that, debuffing the whole team. And so Kiyun taking a giant loss here.
Yeah, really, really big loss. Unfortunately, Kiyun maybe on just 1 life left, trying to again just hit a good charm.
Not happening here for charms. No good charm here for Kiyun. Looking pretty doomed here. Travis with an excellent play here, able to get 2 of those Witchcraft emblems naturally, able to get the spatulas needed, will put him way ahead.
Yeah, 6 Witchcraft. Actually, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, that is okay. That's 7. I was like, is there 8 here? Is my math, you know, failing me? But no, okay, I can do some caster math sometimes. It is just 7. Not able to get to 8, but still, such a powerful board. Q might fall here.
The Fiora does fall here early, which is very important. The Cassidon is largely untouched, was not by this Nasus here this game to get stuck there. Oh, man. But it is game over there for that Cassidon, and with it is Kiyun and FNATIC in this first game taking a loss.
Yeah, Q not able to find the win, so it is going to be pretty clearly Zero Tenacity winning game number 1. All of the power and prowess out of the FNATIC roster, right? Not quite coming into fruition here. Zero Tenacity feeling really, really good about that one.
Yeah, as they should. They're able to take the win off some of the best players in the world. I mean, they themselves are really good players, but a team that had a lot of hype going into this tournament as with the perfect player on the team, with 2 world champions, the team that probably could not be beat. But here we are. They have fallen in this first game of this match, and so we're excited to see what game 2 will hold for us.
Yeah, 100%. Game 2, I mean, it was still very, very close, right? A lot of good plays with that targeted griefing onto Dish Soap. I think Dish Soap could have ran away with that game if he was able to hit that Kog'Maw earlier, maybe even hit that Rumble, right? He was forced to sell out of. But it was still neck and neck the whole way through. The very early dominance, though, FNATIC did not translate into late game success. So really, really well played by Zero Tenacity to bide their time until the late game and then come through with that first place.
Yeah, I think we saw a lot of the wisdom coming through from the 4v4 experience that they do have on the EMEA side of things. Zero Tenacity using a lot of those plays well, holding lots and lots of units that people needed, absolutely ruining Dish Soap's game. And so that would be the difference maker. As we go through some highlights of this game, we see Dish Soap fall out.
Yeah, Dish Soap falling here, just 1 cog away. It's so tragic to be in that situation, right? You're forced to sell out of 1 copy of the unit you're going for to find another, but it's just not working out. Really, really, yeah, sucks when that is the case.
And we did see it was really, really close in this game up to this point, where we saw at this point everything was tied up. FNATIC and Zero Tenacity, if Kiyun was able to win this game, it would have been points by tie, and so there is a tiebreaker that exists, but we didn't have to use it this game. Travis able to continue that win streak in the dominance, taking out Wasian and then Kiyun in succession.
Yeah, those witchcraft emblems are just so powerful, especially when you put one onto a Karma. It just can kind of run away with the game, not even getting to the 8 witchcraft, but not needing to at that point, just because the whole board was so strong. You get multiple big carries out of that, you know, Karma and Fiora just being the only regular 2, but still being able to slot more in there, getting a really solid front line. Just well played by Travis from early to, you know, to the end game there, with playing the early portal into Syndra, into finding early Karma, and just, yeah, just playing it super, super well.
I'm curious to see how Coach Frodan will help his team adapt, what these players will do to try and equal up this series and send it to a game number 3 possibly. But we'll be back right after this break to be able to see what will happen in game number 2.
adventures bring new challenges. Even as the heat rises, dandruff and grease won't stand a chance. With new Clear Men, powered by triple formula technology. To eliminate dandruff, itch, and grease, gives you 8 hours of freshness and 100% dandruff-free hair. New Clear Men, 0% dandruff, 100% confidence.
EU's 0 Tenacity 1, North America's FNATIC 0. Heading into game number 2, that is the scoreboard. That is the current state of this game, and the stakes are very high for Team FNATIC. It is win or drop down to the second chance bracket here in the group stage of EWC. I'm so excited to see what they can pull out in this game.
Yeah, stakes are extremely high here. You don't want to get sent to losers bracket after just the first match. FNATIC down 0-1 after that first game. There was a lot of promise, I think, being showed out of FNATIC, right? They had come out the gate swinging, a lot of very strong tempo play, but just not able to convert it into, you know, a lot of success. And partially that is because their Tenacity did a great job of recognizing their win conditions across their compositions, but also had denied the win conditions from FNATIC as well, right? These are the strategies that we're going to be seeing this weekend in this 4v4 style tournament a lot, and Zero Tenacity just kind of showed a masterclass on how to do that.
Yeah, they absolutely nerfed a lot of the players, taking their units, stealing their game plan. And so they weren't able to hit the units that they wanted to scale into the late game. They weren't able to get in a spot where they could absolutely dominate. FNATIC couldn't do anything because they couldn't hit the units that they needed. And so well done by the 4v4 team for Zero Tenacity, and just an excellent showing of how to do that.
Yeah, 100%. I think, you know, maybe Coach Frodan sprinted across the venue, gave FNATIC some pointers, was able to kind of steer them in the right direction. Of course, these are players of high caliber. They've really all been in high-pressure situations before, so I hope that they are able to kind of re-energize, reconnect. Weishin still having a little bit of smiles, you know, on his face there. So surely not quite out of this yet. Still going to be ready, focused, and wanting to bring this match the full 3 games.
Yeah, and I think something that FNATIC has in their favor is that competitive experience, right? 2 world champions that have fought through adversity in each of those winning scenarios. Malala with that experience, especially in the Vegas Open, able to put that comeback together and win that final game. And so this final game back against the wall scenario is not something that is foreign to them. It's something that they welcome, and they have shown that they can show up.
100%. I think there's a lot to be said about just having that LAN experience, right? As a previous competitor myself, it is night and day competing on stage as opposed to just the comfort, you know, of your own room. Something that TFT players, right, do a lot. There's not a lot of LAN experience that they do get. There's high pressure, yes, but in your own element. So here at the Esports World Cup, players are being thrust, you know, into an element that they are still very unfamiliar with, but who can shine on top when that is the case? FNATIC does win the portal here, getting the 3-1 cause champions to start off game number 2.
I would like to say that Weishin has now won 2 straight portals. I don't know what that means for their chances in this game, but they lost the last game where he won the portal. So just saying.
Ooh, wait a minute. So I don't like what this implication here is, CLE.
I'm just stating facts. That's all I'm doing.
You are stating facts. That is actually 100% true. It literally cannot be false. But I don't like where that's going, you know. But maybe that's just too much of my bias being shown.
That's fair. That's fair. I don't blame you at all. It'll be interesting to see which of these one costs people decide to keep. If anyone can hit this 10 gold break point early before everyone else, doesn't seem like that is the case for anyone, but just a lot more options opened up in this early game by having 3 of these one cost champions.
Yeah, maybe it makes it more incentivizing to run a composition like, you know, a Zoe reroll that does based around the one cost. We did see multicast or multi-strike, or excuse me, reroll in our first match of the day between the Jax and the Ashe. We see Alan here getting Soraka to at least 2 actually as well, being offered in the shop, but some early multis as well. Looks like Alan's not going to prioritize those quite as much as maybe just like the portal that Caston does offer.
He might sell this 2-star Soraka though in favor of some of those other units. We do have a Syndra sighting for Suso here, who did not have a great game 1. His team was able to come through for him, but now able to have one of the strongest units in the game here early on. And a tier to go with it. Oh man, that's a scary start.
Oh, Spider Queen, flexible scoreboard, Scrapper. Flexible is very interesting. I think a very actually like well-designed augment. It's super fun to play that. Seeing how many traits you can get online. All that shimmers as well, though. I think going to be the pick. That early econ, especially on an Elise 2. Yeah, 100%.
And a Gambler's Blade. There's so many of these going. So yeah, so does collect to go with the Gambler's Blade because that goes with his items. And so he will be able to slam some of these items, get that attack speed needed, and also farm gold from that.
I actually love that. A lot of times, maybe just me, right, would have been like, oh, Mogul's Mail Elise 2, right? That's an auto slam, but you already have that attack speed that you want out of Syndra. You want her to cast more. It's going to be generating gold. But Dish Soap finding a very early Witchcraft emblem on a Syndra and having a pair of Syndras at that.
I can't. My bias is coming through very heavily. I get so excited when I see these good spots for this FNATIC team. This Syndra early, Syndra pair nonetheless, with the Incanters, with a solid frontline already from this Poppy 2. Obviously not going to get this first win, but it is in a pretty good spot here for the early part of this game.
Yeah, it would have been really interesting to see, you know, perhaps the sell onto all the other one costs and then buy that minor polymorph to make Poppy into a 2-star. But if it's a backliner, it feels really bad, right? If it's a frontliner, boom, you've hit big. But Dish Soap not really wanting to test the waters there, just wanting to make sure to give Syndra as many stacks as possible in the early game. That really is the name of the game for early Syndra players.
Absolutely. And Lelouch definitely claiming his route here with all of these multicasters he has on his board, holding a Syndra as well, just to grief everyone else in the lobby. But we'll be slamming that BT early with that press the attack augment as well. That really just takes these multi-strikers and makes them into a powerhouse.
Yep, press the attack. That is commitment already here from Lelouch into the multis line. BT Casson, fantastic. The econ, though, is the only kind of worrying part here. I think can sell up to 10 this round. I mean, well, actually would have to sell the Jax. Unless that's a 2-star Jace. Is that 2-star Jace on the bench?
It is a 2-star Jace.
Okay, yeah.
So if he'll make it up to 10 here.
It's probably correct to do so, and yes, does indeed. Really early econ when you're going reroll composition is so insanely important. Maybe you just wanted to hold on to like that pair of Warwicks potentially. Does find the Jax 2 upgrade. That is big as your kind of early game frontline unit, buying more time for that Cassidon. Super strong.
Looking across this lobby, we're seeing a lot of the strategy come through here. Wasian once again on that win streak line. Dish Soap hitting Syndra 2 here early on 2-3 with this Witchcraft emblem with Spear of Sojin. I would say that's a pretty good spot.
Yeah, Dish Soap is an infinitely better spot than last game. Is deciding to make his frontline a bit tankier and dropping the 4 Witchcraft, which I actually do agree with. I think the Bastion for that Poppy 2, allowing, again, name of the game is Syndra to get as many casts as possible. A better frontline allows that to happen. Even if you like lose the round, right? If Syndra gets, you know, a few more casts in, that's a stronger late game, and that's just probably worth it.
Yeah, again, Syndra, like, not super powerful here in this early game, but once you get to 15 casts and then 30 casts, really starts to take off once you get more of these orbs that apply across the board, and just absolutely dominates games here in this first patch of set 12 here. Weijin does take a loss here, so Travis and Kiyun at the top of the leaderboard still with a 100 streak.
Yeah, and actually taking a page out of Zero Tenacity's book, kind of holding a couple of Kassadins on the bench there, saying, hey, you guys did that to Dish Soap last game, well, we're going to do it to Lelouch this game. If you don't hit Kassadin 3, that multi-line is much, much weaker.
Dish Soap gets another spatula, which could be the same situation as last game, because we know this guy learns really quickly. 2 Witchcraft spats could come through here for Dish Soap. Spiking him into the spot that we saw last game was absolutely dominant.
100%. 8 Witchcraft is not necessarily like an auto win in the game, but it is so strong. Weijin even getting a Kassadin too, and can play early portal with it, right? So that is really strong. I think we'll level up here, put that Galio back in. No, unless he just sells it and moves the items over to Poppy. Not wanting to go up to 6 portal, perhaps just being content with this 3 portal opener.
Yeah, we'll use the remover to move those items onto the Poppy or the Kassadin, I would imagine, just to establish a good tank. But he's removing this to see if he's facing his teammate, Kiyun, on the other side, who has a streak currently, hoping to keep that streak, so we will not slam items here, even though this board is super strong from Weijin in order to help his teammate.
Yeah, if Kiyun actually gets the round win here, that's going to be huge. But yeah, like you're saying, maybe. It's not guaranteed. I think it actually is an item slam difference here in this round.
Oh, absolutely. I think Weijin would have absolutely won this round versus Kiyun here. Hopefully able to kill one more. Not quite able to do so. So Weijin will take another loss here, but doesn't matter as much because he had lost the round before. So Kiyun keeping that streak alive is quite important.
The sacrifices that you have to go through, because if Weijin had won that round, would have gotten up to 10 gold, but instead was forced to sell the Galio to make econ. And we did see that Weijin did play vertical portal last game. Maybe he's just very comfortable on that line, doesn't want to deny anything else from teammates. Perhaps that's the strategy FNATIC is kind of going with here. But, you know, just not in a great spot there after having to give Kiyun the streak. But that's a sacrifice you got to make in a 4v4 format.
This last matchup will be so important. Travis versus his teammate on the other side with that Syndra with so much attack speed here early. Surely that is a win for them. It will be able to make 20 gold as well, which puts Travis in an excellent spot. Malala at 50 gold with a 4-loss streak at the bottom. We want to keep our eye on to make sure that loss streak continues for them. And Kiyun seeing if we can keep that win streak together. Them not fighting each other is quite good. We see the fire around Kiyun's name, which is good news for the FNATIC team.
Yeah, I'm just watching the Syndra, how much gold she's able to generate. I think it was only 2 in that
Travis
round,
lost.
but wow. Yeah.
Oh, that's disaster.
That is rough. Malala maybe contesting multis this game against Lelouch.
Looks like it. Has that Pilfer augment that is new this set that steals one of the units that you kill first and generates lots and lots of gold. And so maybe even playing into that contested line, we'll get some free Kassadins or some other free multi-strikers.
Yeah, I actually love that augment Pilfer. It gives you a little bit of that early econ. You're getting guaranteed icon throughout the whole game. And if you, it rewards good positioning too, because if you position to take down like a, you know, 3, 4, or 5 cost unit first, that's so much more econ, or just a unit that you can use for yourself.
More items coming through here for Kiyun. Nothing super slammable. The uncraftable emblem is an option here for Kiyun if he elects to go with that. It's a lot of gold
early. Yeah.
and definitely can shape your game, but not quite what he's hoping for.
Did Dish Soap get dropped another spat on Krugs? It looks like here. I mean, yeah, that's what the graphic
looks like
suggests.
On the left side. Wait, this guy just has a tactician's crown. Listen, I thought he left that at home when he won it, but now he's bringing it in game. That is OP.
That is pretty good. Oh boy, Malala pre-leveling up to level 6 and slamming a quick silver makes me think that, yeah, that is a lock on the multi-strikers. Is going to be contesting Lelouch.
Yeah, contesting Lelouch, but Kiyun and Dish Soap also playing, and Suso all playing Syndra line as well. No people, it looks like, on this Kog'Maw route. And so we will have lots and lots of these 2-cost rerollers. So playing multis, playing the Syndra seems like a good plan for a lot of these players able to get those 2-cost units that are uncontested.
Definitely. And ooh, prismatic augments coming through here. Portal for Wasian. Manazane as well being offered with the Spellcaster Toolbox. I actually think Wasian was probably very tempted to click this Portal Crown here.
Yeah, What the Forge is pretty good as well. If you know how to play it right, bringing that back was quite fun because it turns all of your items that you have into random artifacts. We've seen that be super powerful. We've seen that win a world championship, but we'll go with the Portal Crown, so we will see him run it back.
Running it back here, getting that free Shojins as well, which works pretty darn solid on the Rise later on. For now, it's just going to be on the Zoe. Did sell out of that Gallia, like I was saying earlier, for Econ, though, so that makes it a little bit harder to get up to that 6 portal kind of mid-game power spike. Maybe going to be, you know, forced into only finding that after stage 4.
Lelouch down at 10 gold and only has Kassadin 1. That's is tragic. Disastrous on that level 6 roll down for him. I wonder how many his contester Malala has on his board that is stealing them from Lelouch.
Yeah, and I guess the trend I'm noticing too is that Rage Blades aren't being slammed on Kassadin as much. It's going to be other things like a, you know, Archangels, or in this case, a Crown Guard. Maybe that's just, you know, a bit stronger at the end of the day. It's more AP, more shield, more tankiness. And if you get up 7 multis anyway, you're probably just going to be auto-attacking super fast anyway.
For sure. We do see Kiyun finally lose the streak here on 3-2. Suso now taking that streak away on that 5-win streak, playing that Gambler's Blade Syndra. And Disso with this Tactician's Crown is incredibly powerful in this lobby. And now we'll have the option to always slot in one more unit than everyone else at their level.
Yeah, and even hit the really widely regarded as one of the best prismatic augments, as I'm the carry now. Get that Sentinel with the 3 tailored items, as Bloodthirster now going to be upgraded to a Death's Defiance a bit later. But a lot of players pick that up and are very happy about it, being, you know, a little bit of extra damage. And I think the frontline capabilities of it too is definitely going to be what players consider valuable.
Especially if you can play some of these good traits in the late game, like Preservers or Arcana or whatever else can upgrade that carry with the global buffs for your team. This Golem can be absolutely terrifying and win fights outright.
Yeah, 100%. Malala on an 8 loss streak now, has lost every single round of this game. 41 HP, very weak right now. He did hit actually multi-strike Crown at 3-2 though, so if Malala does get up to that 7 multis, if he's able to find a Camille, that's going to be very strong, very huge bounce back from him.
Malala picked up that Callista on Carousel here, so he will be able to level to 7, will be able to play this Callista that will give him that 7 multicaster that really spikes this board.
Something I didn't notice either is Alan actually also committed to playing multis, so there's 2 players of 0 Tenacity who are playing Kassadin, while also Wasian is holding Kassadins because he's playing Portal too. There is so many Kassadins in this game, CLE. I think it might be some players never hitting Kassadin 3 and being eliminated.
Yeah, the problem is Malala's in a good spot, right? Has that Kassadin 2, has 7 multi in, just needs to upgrade some of these pieces around there. But with Alan over here with 6 multi, as well as Lelouch, who's committed to multi as well, who does not have the Kassadin 2, this is not great teamwork from 0 Tenacity. We saw the opposite in the last game, and now they're contesting each other. 2 of them playing Syndra, well, at least 1 of them playing Syndra, and 2 of them playing this multi-line. It's very interesting.
Very surprising, I would say. I wonder what Alan's spot was to be like, hey, Lelouch, I know you got Press the Attack, right? The literal best augment for this composition. But I'm 3-2, I see multi-crown, and I need to take this, even though we have Malala contesting us and is in a better spot than, you know, both of us. So that's a little bit rough there. Wasion, however, looks like has oh no, is not on 6 portal yet. Just still on the 4 portal. Still needing that Galio.
Positioning himself to go level 8 and hit that roll down to try and hit a Rise 2. That is really needed on this board in order to have any kinds of damage. So it's okay losing a lot of these fights here. We'll hopefully lose to Kiyun here for the sake of FNATIC's teamwork here to keep their gold up as high as possible. But this level 8 roll down for Wasion will determine his game.
100% will. Is about 40 gold right now on 3-6, so is on pace to level up at 4-2 and have a decent amount of gold. I think even getting 1 copy of Rise, you know, 1 copy of another portal unit, be it Galio or someone else, just to get that 6-piece trait online will be strong enough. 5 losses in a row, though, definitely going to be a bit rough. Oh, Zuso, wow, look at this board, right? And look at the HP. It's a Syndra 1. And the front line is 2 1-star units, a couple upgraded ones, right? But like, this is crazy.
I mean, he has the best item in the game, which is that Radiant Spear of Sojin on this Syndra that is just printing him money by auto-attacking with a Rage Blade as well. This setup's really good. If he's able to hit a Syndra too, he's looking even in a spot to be able to win the game.
Vex 2 being potentially upgraded there, but no, rolls past it instead. Looking at
Nami,
Alan here.
though.
Yeah, Nami is big for that. Alan trying to find 1 Callista because that would mean he goes up to 7 multi-striker as well, just like Malala. But the rolls are coming through, and Callista is not being found here. And we actually have mentorship here, right? So if units are next to a higher star unit, they do get buffed, and actually going to be second rowing that Xerath just to buff up the Shen and the Hecarim as well.
Doing everything he can to try to continue that win streak. We have Dish Soap on level 7 on the other side. We switched off that POV onto Wasion's side. He is level 8. He has rolled down. He does not have a Rise.
No, rolled it down at 4-1 instead of waiting an extra round. Maybe felt the pressure, saying 5 loss streak. No, if I take 1 more bad loss, that's going to be a really, really bad look.
Tarek
but really needs to keep rolling.
By Tarek either.
Oh, wait. Huh?
Another Tarek in shop.
Okay. Well, that's going to be a 6 portal.
Okay, with 6 portal now. Really, really, really need that Rise.
Oh, Rise would be 8. Oh, actually, it's 8. It's 8 now, yeah. As soon as we get this emblem in, somehow.
Oh, right. Yeah, on
has to sell the Poppy.
Yep. Oh, and there's Rise. Let's go.
Really, really big.
Awesome spot here now. 8 portal going to be slotted in here this round. Yep, swapping those out. We do have the replacement Zoes on bench, which is fantastic for them. Can put these items straight onto this Tarek. Did possibly miss that Tarek 2 that was really needed, but will be in a fairly good spot here. Once you get Mage in as well, will be really powerful with that Nora.
Yeah, did opt not to swap the items over onto Rise for now, which, I mean, there is Spell Blades, right? So Zoe does do a lot of damage with that in mind. Maybe even more than the Rise, and just hoping that the strength of the 8 portal will carry, which, I mean, it's very strong. Look at all the value it's getting in terms of damage, extra frontline with the Krugs that it sends out. So Wasion actually might be correct here, not swapping items over yet.
I love the design of this set and all the fun that they had, clearly, with some of these things, with the portal spawning Krugs, with Sugarcraft just building a cake. Some of these fun things that they were able to put in the game are just an incredible piece of TFT. And, you know, and we got pretty close to Food Fight Tactics. Maybe someday we'll have that much fun.
Maybe someday. Taking a look at Travis's board here, the level 8 roll down. Oh, we have Dragon's Will on the Nunu. That's one of the best like frontline items that you can get in terms of a Radiant. We have 4 Witchcraft as well, but the backline is not looking too good for Travis here. No Karma's found yet is the big one.
Yeah, and Keelan on the other side, playing a lot of these strong units. That Radiant Rage Blade on the other side with so much attack speed spawning. Will it be able to get through that Nunu in the front line with all of that magic resist from that Radiant Gnasher's Tooth? It's not looking like it's going to be enough. The amount of casts on there are not enough to take it down. So Kian will be losing his streak here.
Yeah, that item is so good. That's a Nunu too, and it just tanked all of that for the entire round, right? Like, that's gross.
Man, we see Malala again with the rest of his contesters, with Lelouch and Malala at 7 and 8 position here, with Alan not too far behind at 45 HP. All of these multicaster players are not looking too hot.
No, unfortunately not. Malala, I think, even had to settle with suboptimal augment after with the crash test dummies, and then suboptimal item with the Hand of Justice on the Kassadin. Really would have loved that to be something else, like an AP item like we've seen, you know, be Archangel's Rageblade, Crown Guard as well, right?
Travis finding some upgrades. We have Malala rolling down here to try and find something else despite this board. Not quite able to find any significant upgrade. Will be able to slot in some important units here for this board, but not quite anything that he's looking for.
No, found an Ari to get 2 Arcana in. It's just going to be the durability from the Hecarim Arcana buff there, but not playing to reroll into Kassadin 3, just playing kind of a tempo hard style of play, but Kassadin might not be tanky enough. It's close. Oh, it does get taken down.
Yeah, these items are so awkward for Malala. The Morello on this Callista, although it does apply that really well, not able to do too much. These dummies though are doing a lot of work here. Will this Callista be able to take down this multi-striker Shen? It's not looking like it will be, but that is not a bad loss for Malala here.
Yeah, good loss, but any loss here feels kind of bad at this stage of the game, being dropped to 11 HP. Pilfer giving a Jax, but that's not really what you wanted to see. Finding a Briar as well, but that's not really anything that you can utilize. Alan, however, moving some items over.
Able to find this Camille that's going to really help this board get a little bit more powerful now with 2 Chrono in as well. Maybe it's enough for Alan to stabilize. Yeah,
a good kind of positioning puzzle here too for Alan, making sure the mentorship is getting the most value possible while still being able to backline some units. But from Lala, this fight could be lethal.
Definitely could be lethal. This fight looks okay though with the AD damage. Yeah, quickly able to get through that Nunu that we saw, provide our AP players a lot of trouble, but will we be able to take down this Fiora? Yes, we will. So Malala will be staying around for one more round at least here, able to get a very, very important win.
Yeah, extremely important win there. Malala still needing to find some powerful upgrades. Callista 2 being a big one, maybe get some more items on her, but Callista 1 over on the board of Lelouch as well. Lelouch even lower than Malala now on just 9 HP. Alan has stabilized though, right? The third multi-striker player with 45 HP, so not too shabby. Really, it is Malala Lelouch on the chopping block with Travis not too far behind, right? Travis had that 4 Witchcraft with the 4 Preserver, but had not found the Karma for so long.
These items will be so important here to stabilize some of these boards. That bow for Lelouch is very, very important. If able to get a Rage Blade, no. Not able to quite get what they're looking for. Will probably slam this Runins as well, rolling down for Callista 2.
Yeah, Callista 2, Hecarim 2 as well. If you high roll into a Camille, but no Ashe on the bench as well though, so couldn't even really go into 7 multis even if a Camille was hit. All right, that's some gold. Can't really do too much with it though, unfortunately.
We'll be electing to go with this RE2 over that Tom Kench. So with the raw unit power, and this will be the battle of who will leave this game first. Will it be Lelouch or Malala dropping out here? Malala getting a Rage Blade and a QSS onto this Callista is very important, but it's still Callista 1, just like the side of Lelouch. So one Kassadin has fallen down, but the Camille doing as much work as possible. The attacks are going out, but it's not going to be enough for Malala. Oh, it does look like that one cast does go out, and it's going to be so close, but Lelouch will take the win.
So close there in that fight, but Malala gets exact lethal, and Travis lost as well, and so is actually out in 8th. We have very similar kind of story to last game, it just being so neck and neck between these two teams.
Man, this is an excellent first round battle between these very clearly evenly seeded teams. Malala and Travis out in 7th and 8th, but FNATIC once again with that little bit of an advantage going into the later stages of this game.
Yeah, both of Zero Tenacity's multi-striker players still alive. Alan up there in 3rd place currently, and we get to see how Dish Soap has made his board work here, and he could be taking out Lelouch here.
Yeah, Dish Soap is very powerful. We saw that Tactician's crown come through, and yeah, that will be taking out Lelouch with a dominant victory. Dish Soap on a 6-round win streak heading into the late game. This is what he was hoping for last game, and now is making come to reality here in game number 2.
Yeah, 100%. Another elimination here. Lelouch goes out. Wasian is on a couple losses here at this point as well, trying to continue to roll down, try to hit some upgrades. Is still on 8 portal. Nothing else. A pair of Dianas is swapping the items over now.
Yeah, we're finally swapping these items. I'm curious if we'll put any of these onto Nora. Looking like we'll put a lot of the damage items on there. Alan ZQ here. The multi-striker left alive will be able to hopefully use this Callista 2 that his teammates could not hit, that Malala could not hit, and see if he can get a top 4.
Yeah, Callista grab off in the back, but like this Cassin build is so subpar. It really just is, hey, I threw what I could together, and that's good enough. This is not like a lobby winning composition, but Alan even getting to this point is impressive, and it could even win this round.
This Syndra with that Radiant Spear Sojin is doing so much damage, and so Alan will take another big loss here. I'm not quite sure what happened with Wasian's fight. It looks like he is still alive in this game. We'll be seeing this next carousel.
Yeah, seeing the carousel did win the fight. Now we get potential upgrades. Is that a Xerath 2 for Alan? I believe it is.
And I think that is a Diana 2 for Wasian. So a lot of these 5-cost upgrades coming through here for the players that are looking towards death here soon, that are at the bottom of our leaderboard left alive. And so curious to see what that will do to change their boards.
Yep, Xerath 2 here. Quicksilver, not bad of an item. Already have one on that Camille, but can throw one onto the Callista in the back line as well. Wanting to find a good charm.
Items.
Yeah. Oh, Dish Soap having the support golem as well. So 2 Sentinels. Yeah, it isn't such a good spot here, man.
This is an excellent spot. The 6 Witchcraft is very, very powerful. No need to swap items over to this Karma yet. No Karma 2. 8 portal now with the Yuumi attached to the Diana 2. Will this be able to do a lot of damage to the opposite board?
Yeah, let's see here. Alan now red buff on the Xerath. It's gonna be a lot of damage in the back line, but the front line still hangs on with that Diana dashing all the way back there. It's so much damage. And yes, a dominant Wasian win in this fight. Alan is going to survive, however, on single-digit HP.
Dish Soap, though, does take a loss now, and it looks like Suso, with that Syndra board that we saw early on, with the gold printing that was happening, now on a 4-win streak here late in the game, with the normal-looking Syndra board.
Yep, we got the Vanguards, we got the Mages, we got everything that you need and love online. Nami even upgraded and has the Shojins of her own to provide a lot of very strong CC. Got the tower here.
Yeah, got a very strong late game augment here with this Xerath upgraded charm here. And it will be this tower that's going to zap the opposite team, but will be enough to take down Dish Soap. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't know about this one. The tower is providing a lot of good tankiness, right? But no, it gets dealt with easily. Fiora's on the back line. She gets to cast, does dash away. Callista is still alive. It might actually be enough for Alan to hang on, and it is. Wow.
Alan staying alive in this game, and it looks like Wasian does drop out. Kiyun able to take him down. And so, FNATIC only up 2 points once again, heading into this top 4 scenario where they have a win streaker again for Zero Tenacity, and Dish Soap and Kiyun, who are just going back and forth.
Oh, such close fights there. That was a tower difference in that last round as well, which really just goes to show the power of these late game charms, especially the Ascendant ones with that Xerath. This is absolutely massive.
And we have another scenario where we're possibly thinking about tiebreakers once again. If Alan beats Dish Soap or Kiyun, and if Suso does end up continuing the streak to the end of the game, we don't know who will win.
Yeah, we'll have to see here. Zuso on that 5-win streak. Kiyun on 2 loss right now. Again, like, Kiyun just starts off so strong, but always isn't able to convert it into this late game success. Alan finding an Archangels for the Zerath. If that is able to stack up, Zerath could be deleting boards here.
Yeah, Zuso's still at 50 gold here, not rolling down at all. And Alan now at 40. It looks like they have not rolled down yet in order to keep their teammate alive. And so that will be very good team play there, but that will be the end of the streak for Suso, but does keep their hopes alive in this game.
Yeah, I love that. Meanwhile, yeah, just up taking a big hit from Kiyun there, while Alan gets to live another round. Alan gets to improve the board a lot more. Dish Soap taking that loss, though, he probably is strong enough to take out either Alan or Zeus, or at least win a round.
Yeah, but look at that charm. That dragon charm with 400 health can make a huge difference in the fights here. So whoever Alan faces will have to face a dragon as well.
Yeah, he's going to wait till the last second to pick it up as well, it seems like. Yeah, not wanting to be kind of scouted in that way and have players positioned around the dragon. Very nice little micro play here going up against Kiyun.
Kiyun with this Syndra that has been stacking all game. Will it be enough to take down the dragon and Alan's board? The Zerath will cast here shortly, but no, the Nami wave comes through and will take down Alan. And Dish Soap with the desperate plea does not fall out of the game.
Oh, yes. Dish Soap even winning the round versus Zuso as well. Yeah, both Fnatic members winning that round.
And now a dragon.
And now a dragon for Dish Soap as well. That's big.
Man, we'll be taking that dragon. Doesn't want to risk any chance of it not spawning on either board. Matchups will matter a ton here to see if Kiyun or Kiyun will face Dish Soap, or will Kiyun face Suso here. Who will win this next matchup?
Yeah, we'll see here. The repositioning from Dish Soap here last second. Zuso gonna be up against Kiyun. Dish Soap versus the Ghost.
Yeah, it will be the team-on-team violence here with that Briar 2 on the other side. That is just incredibly powerful. Dish Soap here able to dodge the clone here, but Suso with this Rage Blade and Spear of Sojin able to take down a lot of Kiyun's frontline and will take down Kiyun's board in this matchup.
Oh, the end cast. Oh, so close, but Kiyun does take the loss there. That round really could have gone either way, maybe with some positioning differences, but I think that is going to be at least Suso in top 2. But we'll see who's going to be able to claim victory here. Dish Soap does get Preserver online. That is a really big pickup here in the late game situation. A beautiful trait to splash into this board.
Okay, I'm not the best at math, but if Suso wins this game, do they tie?
I wish I could tell you, Sealy. I wish I could tell you.
1 point, 2 points, 3 points advantage? I don't think so. I don't know. Someone needs to win this game, man. I'm so confused. I'm not sure what the tiebreaker is either. If they do tie, I wonder if it is who wins the game.
It might be. I think that's the most, logical, but yeah, we'll have to get confirmation at some point from the admins in that situation. But all we can do now is talk about these matchups. It is Kiyun versus the Ghost, of course. It is going to be the Ghost of Dish Soap. See if he's strong enough to survive versus it. I'm not sure he is, though.
Yeah, it's not looking too good. Kiyun, though, does have this Syndra 3 now that he did not have last round, so this might be enough to win this round versus that Karma that does some slow damage, but Dish Soap drops out, and Kiyun hoping that Syndra 3 can change his fortunes against Suso's Syndra 3.
Well, would you look at this, CLE? Syndra 3 versus Syndra 3 in our top 2 situation.
Well, here's the problem now. One of them has a dragon.
One of them does have a dragon, and one of them does not have any charm, and that is Kiyun. and Kyun has perhaps just a weaker board in general, so I'm a little bit concerned right now, right? Briar getting a Ludens and a Hull Crusher. Maybe if Briar gets some pop-off moments here, that'll be enough. But this could be the final round of game number 2.
And it's looking like this fight will be the end of Kyun's board. But the Dragon does fall down here early. But Syndra is stuck on this D-Claw in the front line. The Nami waves coming through will provide a lot of CC. And it looks like Suso will take that round win and will take out Kyun here in game number 2. They're not celebrating, so I'm not thinking that they won that they're moving on quite yet.
Yeah.
I honestly, I'm at a loss. I'm not sure who won this game and what happened.
Zuso playing the game very, very well. However, being able to get that lobby lead, it was a pretty fun kind of top 3 situation between Dish Soap, Kyun, and Zuso. I think that they had played it well enough to be like, okay, maybe one of us is strong enough to take out Zuso in the end here. Didn't end up panning out that way, but that's the kind of thing you have to be thinking about in this 4v4 matchup and in this kind of game mode. So just well played, even though that FNATIC wasn't able to take out the win, but also props to Zuso, right, for being able to claim that win.
Yeah, and it will be FNATIC also taking the win in the game because of just AVP in that game. It was not quite a tie. They're 1 point off taking that win. And so each of these games so far have been decided by one singular point. And now we'll be going to game number 3 in this match. And it will be an electric game 3. Winner moves on. The loser drops to the second chance bracket.
Oh yeah, let's go. Let's see this best of 3 situation really go to its peak. Absolutely going to be a kind of banger game 3, and I may be one that people expected, right? There are 2 kind of Titan teams here. Even though this is the 4th seed out of EMEA, there are still some great players that are part of this roster, and some great play that we're seeing out of them as well. They've clearly practiced well, prepared well, and are bringing everything here to the table when it counts.
Absolutely, just fantastic showings by each of these teams. As we head to our highlights, our recap of game number 2, we're looking at a little bit of what had happened in this game.
Yeah, as well, right? Kind of see the story. Travis, getting knocked out very, very early on. But that's kind of that's the case, right? You're gonna have one player, right, that is just going to kind of be bottom of the barrel. Malala as well, contesting the multis with the Lush, Allen being the kind of 3rd multiplayer. We don't really expect to see even 2 multiplayers per game, let alone 3, I would say, on average. So this game might be a little bit of an anomaly in that regard, I would say.
Yeah, 3 multiplayers and 2 Syndra players, and just lots happening here, especially 3 Syndra players. I'm sorry.
Yeah, 3.
Most of our lobby was playing either Syndra or multicasters, and our final fight did come down to the Syndra 3 here for Kyun versus the Syndra 3 for Suso. And it was the Syndra 3 for Suso that was absolutely dominating throughout the game and farming gold that did take the lobby win, using that gold effectively, but not quite enough to give them the sweep of FNATIC. FNATIC evens up the series at 1-1.
Yeah, kind of funny that the only comps that weren't 2-cost rerolls were Travis going 8th with trying to play on the 4-cost, and with Wasian going that vertical portal but going out in 5th. But everything else was I guess not always 2-cost rerolls, was like 2-cost tempo at the Castidans a lot of the time, but still very telling of the meta here.
Yeah, absolutely. And we'll continue to see this meta form around this 4v4 format. We saw a lot in game 1. We saw some of it in game 2, mostly contesting one another. But in game 3, who will come out victorious and who will move on in this upper bracket? We go into a quick break, and we'll be back for game number 3. it all comes down to this. Who will be victorious? Will it be FNATIC or will it be Zero Tenacity? Will it be our North American representatives or our EU team coming out on top? It is 1-1 down to this final game to see who will move on to the top of our groups.
Yeah, and while it is 1-1, I think each game could have really gone either way, and I guess that's indicative in us being tied up into this point, right? Just, 1 point placement or a couple point placements in each of them. Very, very evenly matched, it seems. And so I actually have no idea who's going to win this game 3. I think it really comes down to maybe just some good RNG at the end of the day, because if you're that evenly matched, it's TFT, right? It's a game of variance, and sure, you can control it a little bit amongst yourself, you control it a little bit more amongst having a whole team of 4 players, but still, right, if you get that lobby win, you get that many points, that's going to be you advancing forward, only needing to win 1 more match to get into that playoff bracket. It's going to be huge for the players and for the team was able to come out on top in this game 3.
Yeah, this is a huge game for each of these teams. Moving to that top of the bracket really gives them the opportunity to propel themselves into a great spot for the rest of the tournament. If they win this one, they only have to win 1 more match, and then they're moved into that playoff stage at a high seed as well, and don't have to fight their way back through having that 3rd match. And so this will be do or die for both of these teams. Both teams showing shining moments, right? Both these teams winning either game. But we've also seen that Zero Tenacity is able to close out and win these games. Both of these matches won by Zero Tenacity.
That's true, yeah. Zero Tenacity being able to kind of clutch out when they need to in terms of getting that lobby win. Not quite good enough in that last game, but that is a very, very good point there. And kind of, I guess, a leg up in their favor, little advantage that they have. And I actually do want to kind of briefly at least talk about this this format and how many games these players have to play. If you get knocked down to losers, right, sometimes in some games, like, oh yeah, you're like warm going into your next matches, you just played in losers. But I think fatigue can also play a big part too, because this is going to be more games than I think almost any TFT players are used to kind of playing in a day, at least as high stakes of kind of games. And so if you're going to losers bracket, tomorrow you're gonna have to play so much. It might actually just be, to your detriment right there. You're gonna be kind of suffering as it gets to that later on kind of part of the day.
Yeah, it is absolutely crucial for them to be able to make it to the top side of this group. Play less games, have less stress, have more confidence going into playoffs. That's what our teams are looking for. And so that is what is at stake in this 3rd game of this 2nd matchup. And for Group C here, deciding who will be some of these top seeds.
Yeah, we've spoken about a lot of these players so far and their success, right, that they've had in TFT so far, but none of that really matters when you're here on the big stage. You're just going to have to play for this one final game here for match number 1. It's going to be FNATIC versus Zero Tenacity, and they both waited till last second to pick some portals.
Okay, Wasian did not win this portal.
Oh, true.
Not that has correlated to anything in this game. I'm just stating facts.
Yeah, it's correlated to absolutely nothing, but it is fun. Like, what if Wasian did win all 3? That would have been like, all right, someone check this guy's account. He just has portal win rate of 100%. That can't be legal.
Definitely not.
We do get Scuttle Puddle though. Yeah, early Cassiopeia.
Scuttle Puddle's very entertaining, gives a lot of extra gold here in this early part of the game, and oftentimes items as well. So we might see some crazy late game boards that are just inflated because of the gold inflation in this game.
Yeah, I personally do love playing a game of TFT where I have a lot of good early econ. Like, definitely love being a greedy player in that regard, unless it's like a very obvious strong opener. But it is going to, I think, be very telling. A lot of these FNATIC players have played with a very high tempo style of play, typically, while the Zero Tenacity players have, been very weak early game, have been sacrificing that HP in terms of econ, and have capped out their board so well to just win at the end of the day. Right, and I think that's a big factor. They've gotten both lobby wins, and I think I would say with that in mind, they're a little bit favored here, I think, going into this game 3 even.
And for Zuso here, making that 10 gold breakpoint is extremely important. Travis with this Syndra already also, not that these Scuttle Crabs will attack the Syndra to give her more mana, but just saving some time so that the amount of stacks that Syndra can get will increase, and with that her power. So a good start for Travis, able to get that Syndra here on stage 1.
Yeah, not wanting to sell everything else, right? The only other decision would be like, okay, sell literally everything else, just have Syndra there, she'll get a couple more stacks maybe. But a pair of Blitzcranks is decent, and we get a Prismatic opener here, CLE.
Yeah, this Prismatic opener is crazy. I'm the carry now for Wasian, which is one of the highest AVP things in the game, with the Syndra already, with really, really good items, with Rageblade and Sojin, and a Gargoyle Stoneplate for the front line.
Wow, okay, so many items for the opener here. Slamming the Gargoyles. This is a meta that I think a lot of value is in Dragon Claw specifically, with how much AP is kind of reigning terror with all the Syndras, or you know, even just like early game Zoe's, maybe Zoe reroll, late game Karmas, things like that. But Gargoyles is still very powerful, and I think Wasian is going to really just say, hey, is my early game good enough right now, or do I need that power to maybe win streak throughout all of stage 2?
And we see on the other side Giant and Mighty, which is another one of these really strong augments that we see. And so FNATIC set up, at least for these two guys, really well here in this early game. Kyun not slamming any items yet. Now just putting a Gargoyle Stoneplate onto the Blitzcrank. And so Wasian clearly is hoping to win here, get as many stacks on this Syndra as possible. Kyun slowly slamming these items.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh,
Wow,
a
like
bit of healing from the Sentinel.
How many casts has this Syndra gotten?
Oh,
that was
okay,
insane.
Well, falls, but still, yeah, that's a lot of value. There's at least like 7-8 casts.
That was some crazy team play happening there. Clearly, that was their intention, to get as many casts as possible. Wandering Trainer for Alan ZQ in this last game here to absolutely send it.
Wow. Okay. Interesting.
Malala also took Wandering Trainer.
Okay, we're gonna have to see what Malala got as well. It's not looking great.
Oh, it's Syndra.
Either. Yeah, it's Eldritch, it's Incanter, so it looks like Syndra. We just need her to you know, actually show up for Malala at this point.
I would imagine he just plays Vertical Eldritch with this, would be my guess. You know, playing that Syndra that fits really nicely into that with Incanter, and just opening up a lot of the slots on the board so you can go for that 7, maybe even possibly 9 Eldritch that is just incredibly powerful.
Yeah, slamming a Bloodthirster though, not wanting to greed components, because that could have just been saved up until you find a Shojin. But Malala is going for this early win streak anyway, so is not going to have a fast, you know, or an early carousel pick. And so I really like that decision, actually, from Malala.
Yeah, absolutely. Lots and lots of power coming through there from Malala, and making a statement to put FNATIC at the top of this lobby, not letting Zero Tenacity have any sort of advantage here. Lelouch with 39 out of 40 gold and an empty field.
Absolutely empty, not quite 40, but with that prismatic ticket, right, gonna want to reroll something at some point soon, so we're gonna figure that out. And oh, level up for Zuso. Level up, not all I see really many people go with this set here so far.
Yeah, I'm curious to see where they'll end up, right? With level up, you obviously want to get to that level 8 quickly, and possibly level 9, but we haven't seen that have much success quite yet. The level 8 rolldowns have been underwhelming, and you know, the portal boards have not been great. The only thing that we've seen succeed in that way is that witchcraft board, which without an emblem is quite difficult to get to.
Yeah, very, very difficult. We see on the other side there, Radiant Nashers on a Syndra. She's going to be casting a ton, not win the round, but everything is just all about those Syndra stacks here in the early game. Dish Soap even pre-leveling up to level 5, wanting some better shop odds.
And Dish Soap does have that prismatic ticket as well. Dish Soap also playing that Kog'Maw line that he played early on. The problem is, though, another prismatic ticket player with a Kog'Maw on field is Lelouch.
Yeah, Lelouch was full open forwarding and said, oh, you're going Kog'Maw? No. I'm going Kog'Maw as well. We hold hands with the Kog'Maw, and that happened to Dish Soap before, and it very well might just be happening again.
Here we go into the back half of stage 2. Dishsoap now having another good item to slam here, possibly slamming that Warmogs on this front line. Has another option to slot in a unit. Will go for the Honeymancer.
Yeah, Honeymancer does go in, does some of the Warmogs like you were talking about. That's going to be so strong on a Nunu a bit later. But for now, Galio too, right? That is a big, big, strong frontline unit.
Oh yeah, that should keep him quite healthy through the rest of this stage. I am surprised that he's taken a loss, but facing now against Malala, who now has that Syndra with Razeblade on it, starting that stacking here early. Not quite hitting 5 Eldritch yet with the 4 out of 5 as we see on the left side of our screen. But maybe even enough to beat Dishsoap here if he can take down that Galio.
Yeah, the Galio so tanky. He does have a little bit of that CC as well. Just a ton of damage though. Even just Twitch holding these items, it's just a bit too much. Another Syndra here, of course, but she's not stacking up too terribly much here in the early game, as Dishsoap does take out Malala in that matchup there. Looking to go on a 3 streak. Wonder who Dishsoap lost to actually, because this board's like really strong, but did lose to somebody on 2-2.
Yeah, Kiyun possibly is on this win streak now as well, leveling to 6 here early. Will be putting in Frost and Chrono, and so this is a quite strong board here.
Wow.
Also curious where this board will end up with the items slammed.
Yeah.
These items together, we don't see on very many units besides Nami.
Yeah, definitely, and doing the old, Bebe leveling, I guess
Yeah,
we'll
right.
still call it here. Going to level 6 on 2-6, really wanting to carry the streak forward, but, streaks only give +2 gold now if you hit 5 streak. You need 6 to get that +3 econ. Maybe wanting to, grief someone else's. Unfortunately, he's running into his teammate here with Malala, so is not going to be very good here for Malala, taking a 5-unit loss. Or actually, 6-unit loss.
Frost taking that training dummy was really funny to me.
Yeah, Frost
Just walking around not doing anything. Yeah, but Malala though is on a loss streak anyway, so not a big deal. Lelouch and Allen both on 5 loss streaks with tons and tons of gold here, but not a lot of HP to speak about. They're about 10 HP below the entire rest of the lobby. But for Lelouch here, looks like we're playing this Wukong Jinx board again.
Yeah, Wukong Jinx, of course. This is certainly, I think at this point, it's not just a coincidence. It must be something that these players have practiced a lot coming into this event and seen some good success to be able to, bust it out on day 1 of the competition and be like, no, I will play this comp. I have a good situation for it, and hopefully lead to a win.
Yeah, we will have that Bard, which is an important part of this comp as well. Not a ton of good items here. We'll definitely slam Runins and probably another one of these redemptions on the front line, looking towards level 7 to roll it down.
Yeah, level 7's big, but Lelouch is very, very rich at this point. Malala hitting Syndra 2 good items. This is a great start. But we're seeing the same exact thing happen once again, CLE, with FNATIC starting off very strong and Zero Tenacity going on those comfortable loss streaks and then spiking a bit later on into the game. But can FNATIC carry on this early game momentum that really needs to happen here for them?
I think what a lot of what Zero Tenacity is doing well is understanding what they need to do in this game. They do need to absolutely take those top spots in order to secure them. Yeah, one of them might go 8th, but what happens if they can continue to put those streaks together in the late game to build that late game board that just dominates? And that's what we've seen in the past few games. But can FNATIC save enough HP in order to set themselves up well for when that happens to put themselves in the top 4?
Ooh, Kiyun's loss streak being broken barely. Wasians is still online, however, as we have silver augments come through for 3-2. Nothing too impactful, but item collector, a solid one. Doesn't really feel too bad. It's gonna be rerolled though, probably in favor. Oh, actually, it's gonna be Pandora's for Allen.
I'm not quite sure what we're gonna end up playing here on this board. Reroll Warriors, possibly.
I mean,
this dummy is very difficult.
Yeah, it's very kind of ambiguous as to what direction that you could go. It's gonna look like it's gonna re-roll these forecasts. Um, I haven't really seen any vertical warriors being played, but if we get a Fiora, get a Gwen online, maybe there's something to be said about the strength of 6 warrior. Big question mark on that, but it could happen.
Yeah, I mean, Fiora is very, very powerful. We do know that for sure. But it's going to be very difficult to even get there and then get the items off of this Mila or re-roll with it, maybe even. It's kind of a scary spot for Alan. I wouldn't know exactly what to do here.
No, me neither. But I think that's kind of a lot of question marks are going to be answered here, because this is an event that we've kind of, I think, as at least casters, been at least prepared about how people are preparing, right? All these scrims have been private. Generally speaking, you see players, stream their scrims or just like practice a lot on ladder. But EWC is a totally different beast. We are quite, literally just like in the dark about so much of these players' game plans. We are kind of figuring out in real time as well, right? We only see the things that have been strong on ladder. Things have been, widely discussed about. But maybe there is a warrior line that exists, and Alan could perhaps find it here.
There's a line on PvE rerolling that Neela with Akali, but no Akali is in sight here. Now finding that Gwen, though, it seems to be a very important part of this board with the Morello slammed. Also, being able to slot in full warrior now, which does a lot more damage. But I'm not so sure. This board is definitely unproven, and so I'm excited to see where it lands.
Yeah. That's a good word for it. I think Unproven really is going to be the story here of this kind of more vertical warrior style, and not that it's going to be, bad per se. In fact, it's looking like it has potential right now as Alan finally snaps the loss streak after getting Gwen in there, after getting that 4 warriors. And when we get a Fiora 2 online, a Gwen 2, I think those are 2 very strong units. I do kind of think that Gwen is a underrated unit right now. But, how highly rated should she be is maybe a question that we're going to have answered this game.
For sure. And I think one thing to point out as we look at the bottom of our screen, we have 4 Syndra players in this game, 2 from each team. Weijin and Malala for FNATIC, and Travis and Suso for Zero Tenacity. But also we have other rerollers happening. So Dishsoap has committed to that Kog'Maw once again in this game and will be attempting to reroll that as good as possible. And also, the Wukong Jinx is confirmed as well. So we see for Dishsoap here in a pretty significantly better spot than he was in that other game. A lot more gold, has the 2 stars upgraded, but not quite getting where they want to. Slams a Morello, though, on this Kog'Maw.
Yeah, that's really interesting, actually, because we know that red buff is a pretty good item on Kog'Maw, right? He spreads it well, gives a lot of attack speed. Morello does something similar. It does spread the anti-heal, it does give a little bit of attack speed, but it's just kind of worse. However, what else is Dishsoap going to do with, 2 rods and a belt, right? I think that's the biggest question that Dishsoap has to answer, and he's found that answer here. Frankly, it feels weird, but I agree with him.
Yeah, it's an excellent way to use those. And we do see him actively being griefed once again on this Kog'Maw line. We see 5 Kog'Maws on the other side, including some Jinxes as well. Not quite the same front line, so that is good news for Dishsoap this time. But again, the Kog'Maws are heavily contested.
Yeah, it's something that's happened in 2 out of the 3 games for Dishsoap so far. He's still in a decent spot here, top half of the lobby, albeit barely. 71 HP to Zuso's 69. Q not too far behind. Lelouch, right?
6.
Going for that Jinx and the Wukong reroll. Has 2 stars of each. Yeah.
Absolutely insane having those 6 Kog'Maws already. It's just the prismatic ticket difference, right? Both of them have it, but one of them has used it more. Dishsoap has more gold, where Lelouch has more of these Kog'Maws. So it's just a trade that they have made consciously. But we want to keep our eye on Weijin or Travis here, seeing if they can take those wins. Is this the face-off between the 2?
So yeah, Syndra versus Syndra here in this matchup. That's Radiant Asher's on the other side. So it's all about the front line.
Yeah, it looks like the front line for Weijin is a little bit stronger, but that's not going to matter with the Radiant item for Travis. And so that will be a continued win streak for Zero Tenacity, and FNATIC losing their win streak at the top of the lobby.
Yeah, unfortunate. Going into the Wolf's neutral round, right? Really want to carry these streaks forward. Was a very, very close fight, though. But it's power of radiant items, and specifically radiant items on Syndra, I think has been a very, very big moment in a lot of these games, like being either the Rage Blade or the Shojin, right, being the best one. But Radiant Nashers as well is also super, super good.
And Malala is one off this Syndra 3, having 2 duplicators on bench ready to roll. And we're going to get a lot of resources here from Scuttle Puddle here, from the wolves that have now turned into crabs here, seeing what we can gather in this portion of the game.
Yeah, being able to econ back up to maybe 50. Yep, 50 gold there. Can re-roll the shop with all 2 costs there. As we see Dish Soaps roll down as well. Malala surely hits. It's just a matter of how much does he have to roll. But Dish Soap is rolling very deep here. Hits Triss 3. He needs one more Nunu. Waiting to pick up the orbs, and I think that's definitely correct. 2 more cogs.
2 off. Yeah, this is a pretty good looking roll down here. The Nunu 3 coming through. Wondering if he'll swap items. Does not have a remover. But 1 cog off, continuing to roll down here. Will hit it.
Oh,
not quite getting it in, but we'll be able to swap the items for sure here off of this Rumble onto the Nunu 3 because he has another one on bench. So even contested, Dish Soap able to hit what he's looking for. Did have to spend quite a bit more gold, but he's definitely not in a terrible place.
No, not in a terrible place. That is prismatic ticket value coming through, which he did not have in the last time. Malala still very strong here with that 7 Eldritch online. That big Volibear coming through. Wow.
He spent all of his gold. Didn't hit a single other Syndra.
No. Oh, yeah, I said surely he hits, but then he didn't. No.
That's not how this is supposed to work.
Oh, no. My apologies, Malala,
support golem,
for the caster curse.
Yeah, support golem, though, is excellent. Oh, there it is. Look at that. All we had to do was yap. We're good. We're good.
All I need. Big Volibear coming through. Wow.
He spent all of his gold. Didn't hit a single other Syndra.
No. Oh, yeah, I said surely he hits, but then he didn't. No.
That's not how this is supposed to work.
Oh, no. My apologies, Malala,
support golem,
for the caster curse.
Support golem, though, is excellent. Oh, there it is. Look at that. All we had to do was yap. We're good. We're good.
All I need. All right.
And no one else will probably hit Syndras. I think probably all of them are out of the pool at this point.
Yeah, I mean, there's backside changes. Is it 28 copies of 2 costs, I think now?
Oh, that's a lot.
Is the number, which it is a lot. So, yeah, you can have, like, up to 3 players hit. Is unlikely, however, but, yeah. Backside changes do make 2 costs a lot more appealing in the set.
Yeah, and I do want to call out in this game, Wasian at 0 gold, Kyun at 0 gold, Malala at 14 gold, Dish Soap at 10 gold. FNATIC is all in already here on 4-2.
Oh, and that is, I think, worrying, because it is the style that they have played. But again, Zero Tenacity, they cap out higher on average, and this is going exactly like it has in the past couple of games.
Yeah, I think that the interesting thing about this, though, is now is when FNATIC would and should start to dominate a little bit more. But it's not looking like this is even going to be enough against a near mirror matchup with the Syndra. Oh, just kidding, it is.
So
but
close,
that
though.
Radiant item is so powerful.
It is. That's not the kind of win that you want to be taking there, it being only that narrow. You really want to be dominantly winning at this point in the game with all that in mind. And Kyun carrying a zillion after level 8 rolled down, like, come on, that just feels so bad.
This board has me a little confused about what is going on here. I mean, playing some of these shapeshifters, playing exiles, and so the positioning has to be a little bit awkward, and has all these items on bench. Not sure what he's going to use them for.
Kyun just looks dizzy. Like, it really does feel like that, unfortunately, and you hate to see it. This is kind of like, I guess, how you had to play that spot. You had to go level 8, roll it down, but you have to be, I think, flexible in the situation a little bit. It's like, okay, if you don't hit the units that you really want to, what is the next best option, right? You have to be able to scrounge together a board that, even if it's weaker, it still does something.
Yeah, I mean, this board did kill a bunch of units. The Zillion's doing more work than I would have anticipated, but
yeah,
it's not going to be enough to take a win for sure. But 39 HP, now dropping down to 28 is not a lot to work with.
No, there's a Nasus upgrade for Kiyun if the tier is worth it, but no is going to skip out on that, it looks like. Just go for the Morgana instead. And yeah, the unit quality is just pretty good if you want preservers in, which he did actually sell at the end of that round to find the Bard, so does want to go that direction.
And Dissoap on a 3-loss streak after rolling all the way down is also concerning for FNATIC. This is not looking good at all for this team.
No, very, very worrying if you are a FNATIC fan, which so many people are. Kiyun still trying to roll down to find upgrades. There is a Briar too that might be Kiyun's saving grace in this match. Has at least one item for her with that Sterix. Really needs some healing though as well to pair with that.
Man, Dissoap is one off Jinx 3 as well and just can't quite get the wins needed at 0 gold completely. Kiyun really needing to get some wins here. Able to put some items onto this Briar though that will be extremely helpful, as well as some of the other units on his board. But unless this Zillion gets replaced by a Karma 2 really quickly, it's not looking too good.
Oh, certainly not looking too good indeed. Taking in yet another round loss here. Kiyun going to go down to maybe, you know, 1 life territory. Is that 16? It had to be a bad loss for him to die here, so probably is safe getting into stage 5.
Dissoap importantly able to get a win here as well. Lelouch has not hit any of what he's going for. Dissoap has clearly creeped him back, able to take all of his jinxes away as well, and is still 2 off this Wukong. And so I can't pick up that final orb.
Yeah, it didn't move cool. It didn't move quite far enough from it to pick it up. It looked kind of funny there, but yeah, like you're saying, very far off in the jinx. Does have a lesser champion duplicator though. So we have a little bit of a saving grace, but still even 3 Wukongs off.
And this is the last fight of stage 4. Malala with this 7 Eldritch with Syndra 3 to even make that Volibear even stronger. Is looking quite good in this stage 4. Syndra able to clean up a lot of these units alongside Inami too. Did take a loss during this stage, but is still stabilizing pretty well here in the middle.
Yeah, Alan with those warriors. Looks like it's a 4 warrior 4 Bastion that he's ended up on in this game. It is a Fiora 2 and a Gwen 2 and Kalista 2. Actually, a lot of upgrades here for Alan, but still lost that last round.
Just not finding what he's looking for. Just a unique
He's going
board.
for, yeah, he's going for Gwen 3 actually. There's already 6 Gwens and is constantly re-rolling these 4 costs. Alan could hit big here.
Definitely could hit big here and has a chance of getting some of these larger duplicators and more of these important resources from Scuttlepuddle here. And so hoping that he can get enough gold, hoping that he can get enough of these resources. He has a JG now, which is an excellent upgrade for him. Also, reroll coming through, not able to find what he's looking for.
No Gwens. Oh, Varus upgrade, but that's just going to go onto the Pandora's bench, because if we hit... Oh, the off as well. As soon as any of these come through to be I guess a Kalista or a Gwen, that's a massive 3-star upgrade there.
Yeah, but I'm not even sure I'm not sure what he would do if he got Kalista also.
Yeah, would he continue to roll it? Just 1 in shop as well, so you'd be 1 Kalista off.
And just look at the items too, right? Like this is a 3-item Gwen with really good items. And so the opportunity with Gwen 3 to win this game is substantial.
She has no healing though. That's the big worrying factor here. Fiora does.
Yeah, right. Falls down.
Yep, falls down. That Jinx 3 from Dish Soap. Wow, hitting so big here. But it is still on very low HP.
One Gwen too.
Oh, good call, good call. Makes it even harder. Actually, yeah, does that change anything?
Oh, here we go. Oh.
One Gwen.
Gets 1 more Gwen. I don't think that matters as much, but yeah, hits that 1 more Gwen, which will be helpful if you can hit it naturally, but I'm sure people are holding. I don't know the rules of Pandora's Bench. Like, is that possible?
Yeah, That's actually a really, really good question. Yeah, it does sell off of that. Is really just banking on one of these 3 units to roll into a Gwen that is Alan's win condition. It's all in the hands of Mort Dog, basically, in RNG, but has to survive first, and is going up against Travis, who has benched a bunch of items. Actually put some of them on here. Maybe thinks he'll just lose anyway, and yeah, I would think that's correct.
Yeah, Alan really, really needing that roll to come through for them. But Suso is again on that laking win streak at level 10 here in this lobby. I believe he was a level up player. Making it all the way to level 10 is a feat in its own here in set 12. And so that is real bad news for our re-rollers for FNATIC here. And this Gwen is doing lots and lots of work here. If this Gwen had healing, it would be absolutely unkillable.
Yeah, okay, Alan still ended up losing, but is not eliminated. Does have the chance here to hit Gwen 3, and it doesn't hit.
Could you imagine if it rolled all the same forecast and he got a different forecast 3-star?
What would you even do at that point? Because there's potential for that to happen, I guess.
Everything or re-roll it? I don't know.
Just pivot everything. Yeah, to at this point, being on 1 life remaining, Alan has to just, you know, buy a good charm, position properly. We see him scouting right now, right? Has to, and yeah, does swap sides and swaps back at the end here. Going to be facing a member of FNATIC with Wajan Iverson. Can Wajan take down Alan?
If there was ever a time for Desperate Plea to show up as a charm, this would be that time for Alan, giving him one more opportunity to get this Gwen 3. But Wajan quite strong here with that Syndra 2 on the other side, as well as a Karma 2. And that is, wow, lights out for Alan ZQ. Drops down here. The Gwen 3 did not come to fruition. And again, leaves the door open for FNATIC.
Yes. 0 tenacity. Finding the 8th, but that's kind of what you talked about before. It's like maybe one of them goes 8th, but hey, the others are going to be in such a strong position to, you know, win the lobby. And Zusa, like you were mentioning, already level 10. Such a feat to get there. He's on a 2-loss streak, however, though.
Here's the thing we need to look out for. If Lelouch does drop out in 7th place, that means that 0 Tenacity will have to go 1st and 2nd in this game. And so we need to keep an eye on Lelouch, who did lose the last round, to see if one of these FNATIC members or one of these 0 Tenacity members can beat him.
Okay. Lelouch being on 1 life, that is very, very scary. Dish Soap, right, I think has done such a good job at finding everything that he needed. Wajan improving the board. Yeah, bouncing the TG off as well. Big plays.
60 gold still for Wajan as well, so he is positioning himself to challenge for the top spot in this lobby. But we're really going to need to keep our eye on the bottom of this leaderboard. Will level to 9 right now for Wajan. We have Kiyun versus, I believe that is, I don't know who's on the other side. Looks like a ghost fight. So Kiyun winning the lottery of the ghost fight here, which is excellent for them. Has that Briar 2 with double Titans BT that is going to absolutely terrorize boards.
Yeah, here we go. This Briar has reached kind of critical mass here. Look at her go. She's so tanky, but does still get taken out by the Syndra. Has bought enough time, though, to win the round.
Lelouch is out. Lelouch drops down. Kiyun survives. Does Dish Soap survive as well? He does. That means that 0 Tenacity has to go 1-2.
They have to go 1-2 to win the game. FNATIC in such a good spot with that in mind.
Oh, my. The mid-game strength does pay off here because Lelouch and Alan went for the gold here and weren't able to quite get it and had dropped out here early playing that first race style. And now the rest of the team needs to come through with those 1st and 2nd places in order for them to move on.
So much pressure on the shoulders of Travis and Zuso. Zuso level 10, still rocking with the Syndra. Going up against Kiyun here. 1 elimination, and it starts here if he's able to get Kiyun out.
Man, Kiyun, though, with this crazy amalgamation of TFT units from this set. Not a lot of traits active, but just making it work how he can. We saw this board in a very, very doomed spot earlier, and it is given a good fight here to try and stay alive in this game. The cast here with the Archangels is enough to stay alive. Dish Soap and Wajan out, though.
Okay, Dish Soap and Wajan both out. It is not Crab Rave, right? It's just Scuttle, so there's no danger of Kyun being eliminated. Otherwise, Kyun definitely would have died here. Actually, maybe the Briar could have done it. I don't know. That would have been crazy.
Malala, though, has that Eldritch 7, has that Syndra 3 that's been stacking all game. And Suso, if they drop out here, even in third place, that does mean FNATIC has enough points to win.
That will be huge. Kyun making a lot happen with a little on this board. Malala, however, like you're mentioning, yeah, on a 6 streak. 2 items here that Kyun can grab. Zuso, Xerath too.
Yeah, Zuso is going for that first place, but is there something that any of our FNATIC players can do to take this win away from Zuso and Travis here? Travis also rolled all the way down, still has 50 HP though to work with, but Malala looking so incredibly strong with 7 Eldritch and still has 50 gold in the bank.
Yeah, 7 Eldritch, a good front line, 3 very good items on that Mordekaiser. 50 gold in the bank as well, so can go to level 9 soon.
And this is a very important fight. Will Kyun stay alive, or will Malala take it from his teammate and say, I got this, and take it into his own hands? It looks like this Briar is quite strong, taking down the Eldritch Volibear, and so Kyun will stay in this fight alongside Malala. And will Zuso get dropped out by his teammate? It does not look like that is the case. Travis taking a giant loss.
Yeah, they need that to be the case, right? If Travis took out Zuso, that would have just been a team kill into them losing the whole match. Oh dear.
Stressful.
Oh, Travis has 3 duplicators, so that's a Syndra 3.
It sure is a second Syndra 3 in this game, so here it comes through for Travis. That is a huge spike for this board. Now probably able to match the power of Malala, just needs upgrades for that Nami and the Karma.
Yeah, definitely. Let's see who is facing who here. Kyun versus the Vanguard Eldritch board with the Syndra.
Yeah, and we just saw Kyun able to take the win off of Malala as well, which was extremely impressive. And it looks like that's going to be the case again, but the Briar does fall. The Rise is about to cast with lots of Archangel spats, but it's looking like that's not going to be enough. Kyun will drop down, and Malala takes a big loss as well.
Oh, Kyun is out. Malala just drops to 5 HP. Zero Tenacity could do it here, CLE. Just one more round. If Malala falls, that will be them taking the match.
It all comes down to this matchup. Can Malala find the charm that he needs? He now will have units join from the bench in this matchup, hoping that he can stall long enough in order for some really important units to just outscale the others.
Yeah, and I think you want Briar to go in first, and I guess the Ashe by Melio afterwards. Oh, Malala versus Travis.
Right. Here we go. Will this Syndra 3 cap out the other Syndra 3 that has this Radium item on there? Is this Volibear going to be enough to cap out this board? The units are joining the field one by one. The Nami wave coming through will be massive CC, but it's not looking like it enough. Zero Tenacity will upset.
One more.
Oh, the unit coming in almost clutched out that win there, but it looks like Malala will fall down in third place, and with it, Zero Tenacity group hug here, taking the first round win over tournament favorites FNATIC.
Wow, what a series, CLE. Every single game going down to the wire, and Zero Tenacity with a very, very hard fought, much deserved win there. And wow, FNATIC, they looked very, very defeated there. Like, that was such a hard fought game, and they were in such a good spot to do so. With Zero Tenacity going 7-8, they just need to prevent Zero Tenacity from going 1-2, but that didn't happen.
It sure didn't, and Zero Tenacity able to play their first or 8th playstyle to perfection there, and that was what got them the win. That's what got them the place in the top of the group stage. We're going to head back for our final fight here, possibly, unless Suso pulls out something crazy here. Travis hoping that this Syndra 3 can beat this level 10 legendary board.
Yeah, I guess technically there is still a game here to be played, but it is their Tenacity win, just the teammates.